Hi, and welcome to this week's Craftbox video. We're going to be talking about the ways that nonfiction writers and writers of literary analysis bring in things like characterization into their own nonfiction writing. So typically we think of something like characterization as something that's happening in fiction when we're making up characters, but every subject has characters. When you interview somebody for a nonfiction piece, they are a character, and they can be described in the same way that fiction writers have been using since the beginning of fiction writing. So we're going to take a look at how that plays out in this piece from New York Times Magazine. Now, this came out in their edition from November 4th, and it's a feature story written by Merve Erme. What it's about, to just kind of give you a little bit of an approach here, is a director who has been putting together a series for HBO called My Brilliant Friend, based on a series of popular novels that were originally written in Italian, have since been translated into many languages. And there's a very unusual way in which he, the director, and the author have been collaborating. The author, as you can kind of see from this artwork here, where a face is sort of partially hidden, the author is unknown. They go by a pen name. This here, the word for that is a pseudonym. So it says for 2 years, this is a pseudonymous literary sensation, regularly corresponded with the director. So they corresponded, but not through FaceTime, not through telephones, but through very old-fashioned letter writing. And he's trying to get her story right using a collaboration entirely through this written word. So it's a very interesting dynamic that's happening, and some of it is hinted at in the very opening paragraph. There is amazing characterization in the opening paragraph. That's what we're going to be focusing on. So the director's name starts us off. Saverio Costanzo, the 43-year-old director of the HBO limited series My Brilliant Friend, is a haunted man. For over a decade, he has corresponded with a woman whose face he cannot see, whose voice he cannot hear, whose existence is confirmed only by the many thousands of words she has written dissecting his artistic choices. Now, that's fantastic. I love the parallel sentence structure of the whose, and then we break it with the thousands of words that she has written. So very unusual in this day and age for a collaboration to occur in this way. But as discussed, it's so that she can maintain her anonymity. We continue. When he speaks of her, his black eyes turn upward, as if seeking a trace of her in the cracks of the ceiling, or in some metaphysical plane high above the penthouse suite of the Beverly Hilton Hotel, where Costanzo and the cast of My Brilliant Friend have arrived for HBO's summer press tour. Sometimes she was so strong, he said gruffly. I don't know. I'm still trying to put everything together. It's very hard. It was like working with a ghost. Now, brilliant writing here, done by the journalist. This move here in the middle is the one that we are really going to focus on. And that before we get a sense of what the quote was that he said, that it's like working with a ghost, which is a very powerful quote, we get a sense of the face saying that quote. And in the description of the face, we understand his struggle. And we also understand how he's in this very specific glitzy world and how radically different that is from this person who is maintaining her anonymity, is not interested in any way in being found out or discovered or becoming a public figure. They are in radically different worlds, and that is just shown by this description of what his face looks like when he's saying it was like working with a ghost. So let's revisit it. When he speaks of her, his black eyes turn upward as if seeking a trace of her in the cracks of the ceiling or in some metaphysical plane high above the penthouse suite of the Beverly Hilton Hotel. You know, this author that he's collaborating with, who he says is like working like with a ghost, she kind of is existing on some sort of metaphysical plane high above a penthouse suite. People are reading her novels, they're making an HBO special, but she's found some way to float above it and actually remain unknown. And all of that is hinted at even in this opening paragraph and this opening use of characterization. Very powerful writing. So that's this week's Craft Box. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope that it helps you find ways to include characterization in your own nonfiction writing. Thanks for watching.